Are you Enoing today?
Yes.
Very good. And we're in good hands.
No pressure, right?
Well, lovely to see you all. Chris, good to see you. Even if it's not here, it's there today, but there is right down the street. Good to see you. Uh, Amy, lovely. Nico. Today's theme, of course, is first off, remember next week is daylight savings time for those in uh, most of North America. Europe has already changed. Australia, I gave up trying to figure out long ago. Rest of the world, no idea. Japan, we just don't change. We just expect all of you to adjust to our time. And let's see, our theme today is kind of many of the counterintuitive bits of wisdom of the Soto way. Uh, the reason we kind of do things maybe the opposite is of what's often expected, but we end up in a very good place for doing so. So that will be our talk theme today. In the meantime, today is dedicated to uh, people all over the world, uh, and we wish everyone peace, contentment. We'll be reciting the Metta verses later, and we recite for everyone in our own lives and everyone on this planet. So, with that said, let's get going. Let's see, am I all adjusted here? Zagu, check. If you've been here before, you know what to do, and if it's your first time, just follow along. Bjorn is Inuing today. Let's go.
마가하냐 하야미다 신요 건지자이고 서스요진 한야라미다 지쇼겐곤가이그도이사이그 야그사리 시시기 후이 시기 시기 서구세 그 서구세 시기 주소교 시기 야그분요 세샤리 시세 쇼그 소흐 쇼흐 메즈흐 그흐 조흐 조흐 겐세고 그주 시기 메즈 소교 시기 메겐니 대신 이메 시기 쇼고 미저 호메겐가이 야이시메 이시기가이 메메묘 야그메메묘진 야이시메로시 야그메로시진 메그시메츠도메지 야그메덕의메쇼덕고 오다이사타이 한야하라미다 고신 무게이게 고무 그흠니사이 덴도면서 의견의 한전대쇼부즈에 한야하라미다 고덕우와 너그다라 선녀선보다이 오지 한야하라미다 제다이 제시 제다이 묘시 제무조시 제무도도시 노조이사이그 신제저고고 세주 한야하라미다 주저그 세주 슈바즈 야데 야데 하라야데 하라쇼야데 도지 소가 안야신요. The identity of relative and absolute. The mind of the great sage of India is intimately conveyed west and east, while human faculties are both wise or dull. In the way there are no northern nor southern ancestors. The subtle soul shines clear in the light, the branching streams flow in the dark. To be attached to things is primordial illusion. To encounter the absolute is not yet enlightenment. All spheres, every sense and field, intermingle even as they shine alone, interacting even as they merge, yet keeping their places in expressions of their own. Sights differ primarily in shape and character, and sounds in harsh or soothing tones. The dark makes all words one, the brightness distinguishes good and bad phrases. The four elements return to their true nature as a child turns to its mother. Fire is hot, water is wet, wind moves and the earth is dense. Eye and form, ear and sound, nose and smell, tongue and taste, the sweet and sour. Each independent of the other, like leaves that come from the same root. And though leaves and root must go back to the source, both root and leaves have their own uses. Light is also darkness, but do not think of it as darkness. Darkness is light, do not see it as light. Light and darkness are not one, not two, like the foot before and the foot behind in walking. Each thing has its own being, which is not different from its place and function. The relative fits the absolute as a box and its lid. The absolute meets the relative like two arrow points that touch in midair. Hearing this, simply perceive what is, make no criterion. If you do not see the way, you do not see it even as you walk upon it. Walking forward in the way, you draw no nearer, progress no farther. One who fails to see this truth is mountains and rivers away. Listen, those who would perceive the subtle matter, live well your time by night and day. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of Great Wisdom Sutra and the identity of relative and absolute, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen, Honored One, Soji Keizan, Honored One, all successive Honored Ones up until Zuigaku Rempo, Honored One, and Gudo Wafu, Honored One, and to all other Honored Ones throughout history, same yet diverse Honored Ones whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Zazen? Kinhin. Zazen? We will have a long Kinhin. We will have a talk followed by other things. Bjorn, would you prepare the verse to open the sutras?
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. I guess I'll stay like this. One moment. Lovely. Everybody here okay? Very good. All right, Bjorn. And a 1, and a 2.
The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we can see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we can see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we can see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Lovely, lovely. Your version is slightly different from ours. You're saying that now we can see. Are you using a different version?
No.
Really? I thought you just added. You know, they're all translations from Asian languages.
You made a mistake. I made a mistake. I added a word. I'm sorry.
No. It's not a mistake. They're all translations from Asian languages, which open themselves to many ways. So it wasn't wrong at all. It was just that a couple of things. Well, anyway, let's get back to it. If you do the podcast, Beyond later, start from here.
I always do.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. I said today that our talk will be about the kind of counterintuitive aspects of our practice in Soto Zen. And sometimes these are so much misunderstood that, for example, people think our sitting is just sitting around doing nothing, or that we are just, how to say, kind of not practicing for realization and for enlightenment and all those big words, that we're kind of just sitting here taking it easy. And that is often a big misunderstanding. It's actually more that when we do our practice, we don't go about things the ordinary human way, because those ordinary human ways are what get us in trouble. Chris is here. He's kind of my physical training advisor. When I go to the gym, he's a physical trainer. And when I go there, got to be a little, a little goal oriented. At my age, I'm not trying to get, perfect the six pack abs are long ago, or never, to be honest. But I have to be a little goal oriented just to get through the routine. But this goal oriented nature being human being is also what gets us in trouble, because we're too goal oriented as human beings. We're the folks who want to go to the moon. We're the folks who get up every day, need to plant the crops and need to get the kids to school and need to get the work done. And when we're disappointed or life keeps us from our goals, we tend to feel frustration, even anger and doubt, and all these feelings of lack that are what we call dukkha. So our practice tells us to just sit, not just sit around, but sit in, for once, dropping all goals except to sit and experience a faith. I use the word, it's the big F word, the faith deep in the bones that this sitting is the only thing to do while we're sitting. It's complete. It's complete. Why is it complete? Can I prove to you it's complete? No, it's complete because we say it's complete. You know, I just was kind of in a little debate with this fellow who teaches another kind of meditation on the Facebook somewhere. And he said, can you prove the value of what you're doing? And he was giving me all kinds of long explanations of what we should be doing, how to meditate to get the most effect. And I said, look, our practice is like the morning star. The Buddha sat under the tree. He had tried this, he had tried that guru, the other guru, this self-help book. I don't know if they had self-help books back in the day, but whatever the Buddha had, he tried to starve himself. Whatever he did, he finally said, after all that, he sat under a tree and he saw the morning star shining. And I think people miss that part of the story. They think it just happened, that's what he saw. But the morning star, I think, was the teacher. The morning star just shines. I don't think the morning star, unlike us, had a goal. I got to get up today and start shining. The morning star didn't say, I have to do good shining. And how's my shining compared to the other stars? The morning star doesn't have to explain itself to guys on Facebook. The morning star just shines, complete and whole in its shining. The morning star was the most perfect morning star. And its shining was exactly, completely, it's shining. This is how we sit. Okay, so anyway, all this counterintuitive stuff. But I want to, assure you every once in a while that I'm not just making this up, that this is actually in the roots of our Soto tradition. So I'm reading recently, rereading, actually reading the first time, a new translation by the Soto Zen Text Project of Master Keizan's Denkoroku, which is kind of the history, a little fantastic, mostly historical, of our Zen lineage. And Master Keizan has a couple of beautiful sections that nicely express a lot of the counterintuitive practice aspects of what we're doing here. And again, to explain this is not the hard part. A lot of this can be explained. It's called practice because you just can't understand this intellectually or listen to my explanation of it. You got to kind of realize this yourself. I'll give you another example. If you're looking, what is life all about and who am I? Okay? I will tell you that the morning star doesn't ask the question, why am I shining? It just shines. And it's shining beautifully. And maybe your responsibility is to just live and live beautifully and shine. Lovely. And I can say that if you already have something, you're looking for it is the problem. I can say when you already have something, the best thing to do is just to stop the looking and just realize, maybe on faith, maybe just by dropping the question, that it's already you. The question, looking for the thing, is the problem. Like the famous koan of Huikei and Master Bodhidharma. Huikei said to Bodhidharma, My mind is troubled. I can't, where is my mind? Please appease my mind. And Bodhidharma said, show me your mind, and I'll do that. And Huike said, I can't find my mind. Where's my mind? And Bodhidharma said, you see, it's appeased. Now that's a strange koan unless you realize that the problem was his looking for this, and to appease it is the problem. Just drop the search, and there's your mind, and drop the feeling of lack, and there's the peace. Well, this is old in our tradition. So Master Kazan has a couple of sections that I've posted recently. One is Zazen of the middle way, beyond hope to attain. And I'll just read these sections and, of course, add needless words to them. In your practice, he says at the beginning, you think there is need to attain Buddhahood and a need to gain, to get to the way. And for the sake of this gaining the way, you think you should try to maintain things like dietary restrictions. You know, monks are not allowed to eat except one meal a day in India in the morning before noon. Chinese monks, by the way, it was cold, so in the evening, they eat a second meal, but they don't call it food. They call it medicine to kind of keep within the rules. It's, we're not eating, this is medicine. But the fact is they're breaking the traditional rules because it's cold and they feel they need an extra meal. You think you should try to maintain dietary restraints in the practice of purity. You should sit Zazen long without lying down, worship the Buddha and revolve sutras, and thereby pile up every kind of merit, like you're gaining points, The more points, the closer you are to Buddhahood. It's like a game show, Buddha Jeopardy. But all of this causes flowers to rain down in a sky that has no flowers. In other words, you're just creating your own problems and issues, mirages. Even if you practice like that through kalpa ages as numerous as motes of dust, in other words, to endless eras of time, you still would have no share of liberation. Truly, when your mind has nothing that it hopes for, either here or there, this is called the way. A couple of things here. Because you think Buddhahood is over there and you're trying to get there, it's over there. And the more you think it's over there, it's not, it's always something distant. The more you realize peace right here, peace is here. The more you think, I'll be happy tomorrow, I'll be peaceful tomorrow, well, that's your doing. You're thinking that peace and happiness are over there behind that hill. Here, when you just stop the search for peace and happiness and just learn to sit on the zafu in this moment, being content just to sit and complete, there, as Bodhidharma said, there I've cured you. So Master Kazan said, stop this, even monks have this goal-oriented, point-racking search, and when you drop the hope, in other words, the longing, you're satisfied. Now, one important point here, he's not saying, on the other hand, to be careless either. He's preaching the middle way here. He's saying, all right, you can eat a little more than I eat, he says a little later. I eat a little more than the Indian rules allow. But that doesn't mean to stuff yourself with the super duper Big Mac triple at McDonald's every day. And, all things in moderation. I'm a married man, okay? I'm breaking some of the traditional rules. Sex. I'm married. Okay. So, with that in mind, though, I'm not, going overboard. Over there in moderation, too. All right? Japanese monks drink a little. I've been to Sotoshu events where the waiter comes out and brings the beer. And I've been at parties at the Sojiji Temple for New Year's where, the Roshi came over, the big abbot of the temple filled my sake cup. A guy offers me sake, I got it. Japanese monks drink. This is not the traditional way in India, but again, don't be an alcoholic, don't go to excess. I think it's a healthy way. We're not deniers of the body, but we're not prisoners of the body either. That's why I listen to Chris and go to the gym, you see. Okay. Therefore, wanting to know satisfaction, where's satisfaction? Hello? Wanting to know satisfaction is the root of desire. Surely, even if you enjoy sitting for long periods, this entails the error of being obsessed with the body. This is why I'm telling you, Zazen is not a basketball game. We are not trying to make points. Okay? Guy comes to me and says, I'm up to 40 minutes. I said, okay, good. The other guy says, I'm sitting 5 minutes. Okay, good. But are you both sitting beyond time and measure? Huh? This is not a taxi. There's not a meter on your Zafu. You sit, every moment is perfect completion. How do I do that? Just sit with a faith in your heart that this moment is the morning star perfectly shining. Oh, but if I sit 5 weeks more, solid and beat myself, and then I'll be enlightened. You'll still be the morning star shining. If you're going to beat yourself, I guess beat yourself like the morning star with nothing to gain. I don't know what to tell you, but just when you sit, every moment is perfect completion. And don't beat yourself. We don't do that. We don't do that around here. That's the other religions. Actually, they do that in some Zen monasteries too. They hit you with a stick. We don't do that. No beating. Just sit and sit in completion. Okay? All right. If sitting for long periods is to be taken as the way, then at the time of birth, everyone has already been sitting for 10 months in the womb, according to how the Japanese count, not 9 months, 10 months they counted. So that must be the way. Why seek it a second time? Now notice he's not saying don't sit, and he don't sit Zazen, and he's not saying sit Zazen for 10 months. He's saying sit every moment complete. Okay? Then it's real sitting. Disciples of the Buddha did in this way establish various rules of purity and made known the proper conduct of Buddhas and ancestors. Nevertheless, if your clinging to them is one-sided, then they are sure to become, on the contrary, mental afflictions. You can be too much a monk. Monks can be attached to being monks. Don't be an obsessed monk. That's a kind of alcoholism too, that's an incense-aholic. Okay? Middle way. Middle way. You think that by adhering rigidly to various practices of this sort, that in itself is seeking the way. This is an entirely mistaken understanding. Again, don't go the other way. Paul reminds me, I thought of you again. He said, oh, yeah, incense, clean your incense. Yeah, and even though no one's here to see, I clean the incense. Take care. Be diligent. Don't neglect sitting. Don't be attached to sitting. Don't, keep your house clean. Don't let it be a mess. Don't be, what is it? I see. What is it? I got to wash my hands every 5 seconds. You know what I mean. Don't be obsessed. Compulsive, obsessive disorder. That's it. Middle way. All right. Have sex. Don't have it every 5 minutes. And if you can have it every 5 minutes, I salute you. Anyway. Okay. No, that was a little joke. Just a joke. Don't go overboard. All right. I woke up this morning. I thought I'm going to give this talk. I'm sleeping in a regular bed with a mattress, a Western mattress. And you're not, that's even against the rules from India. I'm not supposed to sleep in a bed, but I sleep in a bed. On the other hand, I don't sleep on a bed of nails, and my bed is not, luxurious. It's just a bed. So, middle way. All right. Furthermore, what Buddhahood do you see that could be attained? What living beings do you see that could be deluded? We think we're now deluded and we have to attain enlightenment. Okay? This is one of the counterintuitive things I tell you about. That's very important in our practice. See where this goes. Thus, there is not a single person who is a deluded person, and not a single Dharma that one could awaken to. Huh? There's no one who's deluded? There's nothing to awaken to? For this reason, sayings to the effect that delusion is turned around and made into awakening, or that the ordinary is turned around and made into the sagely, the enlightened, are entirely the words of unawakened people. Huh? Counterintuitive. The unawakened person thinks that the world is divided into pieces, good and bad, me and you, including unenlightened and enlightened. And they're looking for enlightenment, but they're still doing it in a way that cuts the world into pieces. I'm not enlightened. I think that's enlightenment over there under the hill, back there. I'm not Buddha. Buddha's over there. Okay. When they drop all thought of the pieces, including the difference between unawakened and awakened, that wholeness, that just shining that fills the whole universe, there it is. So, in other words, the counterintuitive is sitting thinking that there's enlightenment in Buddha we have to get to is what keeps you from realizing that it's right here and always has been all along. On the other hand, said Master Dogen, our practice is called moment by moment practice enlightenment. Now that you have realized that this is the wholeness, this is the whole thing right here and always has been all along because you've given up the search for it someplace distant, that doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want either. It's not an excuse to rob banks. It's not an excuse to just pillage and plunder. Because now we have to live like it. And then it's here too. Okay? That's our practice of moment by moment continuing practice enlightenment. Buddhahood is not over there. It's right here when you just drop the question of where is it? Now that you've realized this, live gently. Live gently. Then you're just the morning star shining. And that light fills the whole universe. Like that. Something like that. Okay, anyway, where are we going here? Okay, your own self, if your understanding is not at this true level, may be confused by the words of other people. Okay, this is important. I like this section. So you're going to find that Jundo is one Buddhist teacher preaching one message of Soto Zen. I'm not sure that these days even all Soto Zen teachers are emphasizing this. Some are teaching very goal-oriented meditation. You got to reach, deep samadhi states. We're going to talk about samadhi in a second. You got to get enlightenment experiences. The enlightenment experiences, by the way, bring you right back to the same thing we're talking about, that you're just all is whole. But anyway, And some people are saying you have to work for many lives. You're going to get to Buddha gradually. You know, you got to go through these stages. You'll get there. Okay? I'm not criticizing those people. I'm saying that there are many paths to right here. Okay? If I have a recipe for chicken soup and the other guy's got a recipe for chicken soup, there may be both good soup. I'm not saying no. But if you try to combine and say which guy's right, I can't tell you. You can strive very hard and go through all those stages and realize what you want to realize. Or you can do it Jundo's patented Soto way of just sitting and dropping the questions and resting right here in completeness. And you're going to get the same place because it's right here all along, you know? So anyway, that's what this is about. Don't let all these people talking about goals, this is Keizan's words, not mine. Don't let all these people talking about Kensho and goals and stages and, you know, this thing and that, don't let them mess you up. So he says, so even if you have heard what is explained in the way I'm explaining and understood that there is nothing to attain, Keizan's words, not mine, nothing to attain, still there may be a, quote, good friend. That means good friend along the way. That means a Buddhist teacher, good friend, who explains that there is a need to gain some Dharma. Or perhaps a Buddha demon will come and say, a well-meaning guy, let's say, instead of a Buddha demon, a well-meaning Zen friend who comes along and says that there is some Dharma that should be further cultivated. Do this practice or do that and realize this or realize that, okay? If that happens, the result will be that your mind and perceptions waver, and on the contrary, you will end up with inverted views. If you want to do what I, Keizan, recommend is just listen to Jundo completely. He's right. He's a great guy. No, he didn't say that. That was a joke. Okay. Anyway, Keizan says, now you should accept the true instructions of the Buddhas, thoroughly investigate in detail, and by your own self arrive at the level of ease and joy. Okay? So that is basically Keizan describing Shikantaza and why we do it. There's nothing to attain practice. I sit in completeness. And then I get up and live in this messed up world where we have goals and dirty dishes to do. I got to confess, during Kinhin, I went in, my wife asked me to unload the dishwasher. I unloaded the dishwasher. I had a goal, okay? I had forgotten this morning. I unloaded it. By the way, you think that I talk all the time, have Zen washing the dishes. I do it sometimes as a practice, but we also have a dishwasher. I'm sorry. But see, I'm breaking. The Buddha did not have a dishwasher in India. I've got one. But I unloaded it with Zen mind. How's that? Okay? Very good. You take this off the cushion to a world where we have things to get done and projects to do and disappointments and some things that are very painful and getting sick and losing people we love. And in that you find the shining stars just shining. Sometimes it shines as losing people we love. Sometimes it shines as dirty dishes. Sometimes it shines as beautiful flowers. Sometimes it shines as this or that. But this world is always a shining star. No questions need be asked. No explanations need be given. The shining star need not justify itself. Just magnificent. Which leads us to samadhi. Now, samadhi, this is this other piece I posted about just yesterday, and it's a complicated essay I posted and long, but it basically makes a kind of simple point. Samadhi is prized in Buddhism, and with good reason. We sit sometimes focusing on the breath, perhaps. Even other techniques are useful. I was reading a Rinzai teacher who had published a book recently that's filled with various techniques. Do things with the eyes and you'll get deep samadhi. It's very good stuff, okay? Soto people are not against samadhi. We've just got a kind of couple of weird quirks about samadhi, which I'm about to explain to you. People think samadhi is only sitting and attaining these very concentrated states. Maybe most of you have experienced it at one time, where you're just, man, in the zone. Time is not a consideration. Maybe you're just feeling very peaceful and still. Maybe you are in bliss, man. What a trip. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. But it's not the point, or should I say the only destination, or the only thing to do. It's not like when you're feeling that, that is good Zazen. When I'm not feeling that, oh, I got to get back there. I got it. That's the point, to get there. Because when I get there, I realize, oh, I feel the world. Peace. I feel it, man. Yeah, now everything is good. This is what Buddhahood and enlightenment must be. Not to Zen folks. To Zen folks, that's a face of it. This is all the stars shining. This is all samadhi. It's samadhi when it feels peaceful. We don't run away from it, but neither do we cling to that peaceful in the zone. It's also samadhi when we're not in the zone, because as you'll see Kazan say, in the wholeness, it's so whole, what, in or out? Okay? We also have a quirk here. We don't necessarily do many techniques to force ourselves to get these deep states. I'm going to tell you something. With all the breath and eye things in that fellow's book, go to the dentist and have him write you a script for Valium or a couple. And yeah, man, I'll get you a peaceful place. But you know that's not a good peaceful place, right? Just watched a documentary about this series with Michael Keaton, I think, about the opioid crisis in America. Yeah, that's not the way. Peace is not always a good thing, especially when it comes in a bottle and you start chasing after the bottle. But even in Zazen, if you think that peace is, the point of this is only when you're feeling that peace. And what about the rest of life when I'm not? I remind you, as we're going to see here, we learn that the moon is always full and shining, even when it's a half moon or a quarter moon, or what we call a moonless night, or even on a stormy night, the moon is still boundlessly shining in the open sky. So don't think that, oh, the point of this practice is to always see the moon. Half moon is only half there. Moonless night or stormy night, I've lost it. There's no moon. No, the moon is always there. That doesn't mean when the moon is there, we look away. We love to see the moon. I love enjoying to see the moon. We've gone from the star now to the moon, I notice. Right? I love the moon. But our practice is to recognize that it's all the moon shining, even when the moon is unseen. Isn't that weird? That's our samadhi. That leaves nothing out. So it's called the no entering, no emerging samadhi. People think I get into samadhi. Samadhi emerges, that feeling, oh, there it is, it's come. And then when it's over, it goes away and I leave samadhi, like I'm leaving a room. No, this samadhi that has no inside or outside cannot be entered or left. Huh? Let me explain. True samadhi is not restricted to peaceful and pleasant moments of deep concentration, but rather is all moments and all reality. Each truly precious, each the moon shining, each the morning star shining. Not only the calm and pleasing. Wait a second, I thought if I did Buddhahood, I'm always going to be calm. I'm always going to be happy. I'm always going to be joyous. As the old country song goes, I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. You remember that old song? Right? But what I can give you is a joy to sometimes be joyful and a joy to sometimes be sad. How's that? It's called life and it's good. I can give you a peace and calm that accepts that life is not always peaceful. That I can give you. I bet you Kazan and the Dogen and even the Buddha, I bet if we went back there, was at peace with not always being peaceful. His family was in a war and wiped out. Terrible. That's a great story. He said, there's almost a story where they left it in there where he's almost having a nervous breakdown because he cannot keep his own Shakya clan from being wiped out in a war. He had bad days. But maybe somehow he saw the moon shining even in the blackest night, like that. So, Soto ancestors have criticized limited views of samadhi as only peaceful and pleasant states, only times of deep concentration, only experiences to be entered and then departed from, only certain conditions that emerge and are attained, and only a matter of body and mind, using the body and mind to get there. Don't try to use the body and mind to get there. Zen folks just sit, forget about any there to get to, and drop away even thought of body and mind and just sit in the wholeness, in the completion. True samadhi exists always and is not dependent on whether peace or bliss is experienced or not experienced, whether it can be attained or not, or can be lost, whether it never emerges or departs. It's like the waves on the sea come and go, but the sea is always there. The moon appears and disappears beyond the clouds, but the moon is always there, like that. So there's a story about one of our ancestors, and you'll see this. This fellow sitting and sitting and sitting, he's also an intense sitter, sits for 3 weeks, according to the story. Maybe so. There may be intense sitters that can sit and sit and sit without food and drink, I guess, for 3 weeks. Put on the Depends diaper, I guess, and you're all set. Or whatever they do. Okay, I guess you can do that. Samganandi was sitting peacefully and entered into samadhi. The venerable Rahulabhadra and his congregation waited for him. When 3 7-day periods had passed, Samganandi gradually arose from his samadhi. The venerable Rahulabhadra asked him, "So, is your body in samadhi? Is your body in samadhi, or is your mind in samadhi?" Samganandi said, "Body and mind together are in samadhi." The venerable Rahulabhadra then said, "Well, if body and mind together are truly in samadhi, then how can there be emerging from it or entering into it?" Now, this is much longer in the essay I wrote. You can work your way through it. But basically, what he means here, Rahulabhadra means that if body and mind are in the true samadhi of all reality as we really are, there is no body or mind that's separate from something to attain. There is no in or out. What's a good model? I told you can explain a lot. Let's say that there's that singularity they're always talking about that came before the Big Bang. Okay, if it's truly the singularity that's everything, there is no outside. Outside would be something else. You see? But if something is truly whole, if something is truly everything, then there's no something that it's not. So there is no outside. Outside would be something else, and therefore it would be incomplete. But we're talking about something that by our definition is so complete that there is nothing else. Therefore, There's no outside. There's no inside either, really, because inside is a comparison to outside, and there's nothing to compare it to because there's no outside. So if you have no outside, you can't even say there's an inside. It's just this. And you can't even say this because there's no that. That's not this. Kind of get where I'm going here? This is Eastern beliefs, okay? So if there's no outside, you can't come in, nor can you go out. There's no place to go. There's no place to come into from. You're there, okay? So it's not some state to enter or exit. The meaning of this somewhat puzzling exchange becomes clearer if we recall that in Zen wisdom, one does not truly come and go from reality, even as we come and go in life. I told you, this can kind of be explained logically. It's not a matter of understanding it intellectually. It's kind of getting it in your bones and just feeling it. So again, the best explanation, the waves come and go. There's no wave. Suddenly a wave rises up. You're a wave. Right? You're alive for a while. The wave disappears. Where did it go? But the wave is the sea all along. The sea's flowing. The sea didn't go anywhere. You're the sea. The wave is the sea. Therefore, we live in a world of coming and going, but there's also the aspect that doesn't come and go, and they're the same, two faces of the same faceless thing, like that. Okay, so in Zen wisdom, one does not truly come and go. There is no birth and death from reality, even as we come and go in life. There is no entrance nor exit from wholeness, because you can't, it's whole. You can't, there's nothing else. There's no entrance nor exit from wholeness, even though we may enter or exit some concentration or other states. I may enter anger and then put anger down. I may enter feeling sad and put that down, or feeling happy. We enter and exit states, including deep concentration, but it's all this wholeness that cannot be entered or exited. There are no starts or finishes in the timeless unbroken, even as time has starts and finishes. Nor does the whole, because it is so whole, have an inside as opposed to an outside, nor some separate somethings called body and mind. So you feel like bodies and minds who are living in the universe. Who's feeling that? You are. Because that's the story you're telling yourself. Now, if you feel as the whole, it's not the separate pieces alone. The wave needs to realize it's the ocean flowing like that. Okay, so, and this is all necessary in practical terms. We need time, we need, coming and going, we need goals, we need body and mind, and I think I'm you, me, and you are you, okay? But I'm telling you, just in our Buddhist practice, we realize that's not the only way to experience things. Last sentence, the wholeness of reality is all of this, all true at once. Thus, true samadhi sweeps in all of these seemingly incongruous views. Again, there's nothing wrong with feeling and attaining in the Zazen these moments of deep, profound peace when everything is sweeping and whole and la land. Great for you. Good. But don't cling there any more than you cling to candy just because it tastes good. Enjoy your candy and then eat your spinach. Get on with the rest of life. It's all samadhi. It's all the meal. It's all the star shining. I think I've babbled on long enough. Kind of made my point. Bjorn, would you do me a favor? I can't see everyone who's here. Would you kind of call people if anyone has a question, including yourself? Anyone have a question about all this babbling? Or a complaint? Come on, I need one. It makes me feel that I've just left everyone so dumbfounded and confused that they have Anyone at all?
Finn.
Oh, wait a second. My speaker. Oh, a speaker. Speaker working? Can you hear me, Beyond?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Nobody, huh?
Finn has a question. Finn
Yeah,
has a question.
go ahead.
It was more of just a comment as you were doing your talk. I was thinking Zazen and perfectionism don't go very well together, do they?
Life is, you may have noticed, one imperfection after another. Some of those imperfections are not so big, some of them really terrible for us, right? And we tend to say we're perfectly imperfect. And sometimes I get people misunderstand me. Oh, you're saying it's perfectly perfect. No. You're saying it's imperfect. No. I'm saying it's imperfect, and that's perfectly what it is. It's perfectly imperfect. Sometimes I use the comparison, is the world just? I say sometimes I don't think the world is very just. I don't think there's justice. But I think it's just what it is, and that's pretty just. So the world is perfectly imperfect. The morning star is not the most perfect star in the world, but it's perfectly the morning star, something like that. Does that kind of help?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's no excuse to, again, make more mistakes in life and screw things up more than you need to. We're diligent, careful, conscientious, but not perfectionists. Clinging. We need to have perfection and frustrated because we're not going to get it. The middle way. Like me, you got a perfectly imperfect teacher here who gave a perfectly imperfect talk. Anyone else beyond? Yes, beyond.
Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed when you posted the um, talk itself, and now hearing it. And I think now with Ango, when we all have so many goals about sitting longer, sitting more than once a day, and all of that. I see some of us getting discouraged some days. Oh, I'm failing. Oh, Ango is not going well. I can't sit every day. I missed the sit yesterday. And though I think we say it with the mouth, Zazen is complete. Zazen, needs nothing else. But we don't know it with the bones. So learning this lesson from what you just so wonderfully explained today means we understand that 30 minutes of zazen is not more special than 5 minutes of zazen. And just because our scheduled sits are 30 minutes and 25 minutes, and we do it bowing to the cushion, and then you turn, and then you do the dance, it's lovely. But there's also zazen you can do while the microwave heats your soup in 2 minutes, or after you had lunch and before you go to bed, or when you wake up in the morning. It's just as complete. And I think if we learn that with our bones, we let go of the guilt we put on ourselves sometimes. I didn't sit enough. I didn't do it today. I missed it.
But again, not an excuse to be negligent. Ango, including Raksu sewing, is intentionally set up as a minefield to teach people this lesson. If people are doing it obsessively for quantity, that's not what it's about. If they're not doing their thing because they're just being negligent, that's not what it's about. And it's never perfect, but it's to realize the imperfection of perfection, the perfection of imperfection. Sewing is the best example. If you don't do the sewing, that's not good. If you rush the sewing or you have to have every stitch perfectly, that's not it. When you do the sewing, you make a mistake, you bow to it, and you end up with a kind of very nice but slightly off-centered Raksu. Ah, it's the Buddha's robe. Okay. And what I like about Bjorn is that that's kind of the philosophy with which he's guiding folks this season through sewing. Okay, anyone else?
I'm trying to see if there's anyone else.
Anyone? No?
I don't see any. I don't see any hands. No, I don't.
Okay. We're going to close the sutra now, and then we're going to have, in place of our hokey pokey, we're going to have a Samba Hanya Shingyo Heart Sutra, which I call the Hanya Samba. But also because this is samsara, this crazy mixed up world, we must remember to keep on smiling, keep on dancing through this crazy life. It's the samsambra. Wait a second. The samsara samba. The samsamba. All right. So it's the Heart Sutra, as I was going to use it for our ceremony, like we sometimes dance, but they actually, for some reason, cut out the middle of the Heart Sutra. It's only the beginning and end. It's a little short. But it's good for us to dance today. So after this, we're all going to get up. Everyone, unless you have health reasons, get up, do your thing. This is dedicated to our friends, of course, in Brazil. Please close the sutra. Try not to add any unnecessary words.
I'm reading from the May the merits of these teachings penetrate into each thing in all places, so that we and every sentient being together may realize the Buddha way. O Buddhas throughout space and time. O Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Very good. Lovely. Okay. Everyone get up carefully. We always lose a couple people every once in a while. Carefully. Hold on to something. Okay. All right. This will take a second for me to. This moment, please. Huh? There's a thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Here we go. Thank you. By the way, just a small point, that also breaks one of the rules. Monks are not supposed to dance according to the Indian rules. Okay? Did it again. All right. Oh, here we go. Zazen. We will have a long Kinhin. We will now recite the metaverses, followed by, I don't know, Zazen? Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, you can make yourself comfortable for this. Hopefully everyone has the words. They can chant along. There's a link in our chant book. Now, I usually keep politics out of our Zendo, even though I have personally my own political views. The reason is there's so much debate and arguing outside. We leave it at the door, come in here. We sit beyond win and lose, what's going on, people we like, people we don't. And then we can, afterwards, at the door on the way home, pick it up again. Maybe we see it more with some clarity on the way home. Everyone can hear okay? Yeah. But what we're going to do now for Metta is kind of medicine for politics. So it's not really politics. This is a cure for all the division in the world, I hope, a little bit, a healing. It's election season in the United States. I think it is many other places too. I'm not sure what you do in the UK, by the way. I think you just pick a new prime minister every month. I've lost track of what your system is there, but Brazil just had a big election and very hot between opposing sides. So we're going to do Metta now, directed at different kinds of people we encounter with regard to politics. In other words, their political views agree or disagree with us. And I'm going to name this. You'll think of someone in your life who fits this bill, and you will chant for this person. Okay? Kind of got the point? Okay. We're going to begin as always for ourselves. Whatever our personal political views and who we vote for, let us offer Metta for ourselves. Okay? May I be free of suffering. May I feel safe and still. May I be free of enmity. Enmity means hate. Very important in politics. Let's be free of enmity. May I be loving, grateful, and kind, even to the people I disagree with vehemently. Please, everybody add that part. Even to the people I disagree with vehemently, passionately. Okay? May I be healthy, especially because the healthcare system needs an improvement. No, that was a joke. And at ease in all my ills. May I be at peace, embracing all conditions and election results of life. Okay. All right. Now you're going to chant for someone in your life who kind of agrees with you on everything. You know, that sane guy who understands in your life, you know, on political issues, the guy who's got it right. There's always, let me think who it is in my life. I got a couple of people like that. Okay, good. May he be free of suffering. May he feel safe and still. May he be free of enmity, just like me, towards the people who vehemently he disagrees with. May he be loving, grateful, and kind. May he be healthy and at ease in all his ills. May he be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay, next we're going to chant for the disaffected, man, politics doesn't matter, I don't care, it's all a ripoff, I'm not voting, that somebody, you know? If not, you know, there's somebody like that. We're going to chant for that person, okay? Got someone in your mind? May she be free of suffering. May she feel safe and still. May she be free of enmity. May she be loving, grateful, and kind. May she be healthy and at ease in all her ills. May she be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. And of course, I'm not speaking from the pulpit. I'm not saying you have to. I do encourage everybody to vote. Make sure. So, you know, consider it Kinhin on the way to the polling place, like that. Okay. All right. Next is, this is a good one. Someone you really love. I mean, you really like this person. Could be a friend or family member. I mean, you really dig this person, you love them, except for one thing, their political views are just driving you crazy because you do not disagree and it's almost really breaking your relationship. Think of someone? Okay. Got somebody? Raise your hand if you thought of somebody like that. Yeah, okay, almost unanimous. Okay, all right. May he be free of suffering. May he feel safe and still. May he please not talk about politics at family parties and dinners. May he be loving, grateful, and kind, even with all the theories and conspiracy. May he be healthy. Wait a second. No, may he be free of enmity. May he be loving, grateful, and kind. May he be healthy and at ease in all his ills. May he be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay. Now we're getting into the big one. Now you're going to talk about the politician, number one, that you really cannot stand the most. And we're going to skip Putin. I'm sorry, unless there's some Putin supporters here, I apologize, but he's too obvious. Someone other than Putin, I've chanted for him enough. Someone who just, this is just the worst guy or woman. And we chant, remember, with the idea that if this person truly knew peace and was healthy in body and mind, maybe they would not be so. Okay, you got somebody? Ready? May he be free of suffering. May he feel safe and still. A lot of still. Be really still. May he be free of enmity. May he be loving. Let me say that. May he be loving, grateful, and kind. May he be healthy in body and mind, and at ease in all his ills. We don't want to wish anyone sick. May he be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay? And because it's such an important thing to do during the political season, now I want you to think of, like, let's say, the number 2 or even the number 3 politician who drives you crazy. Okay? Not that guy, but the next guy or the one guy down who you think the country, the world could be better without this person. Okay? Think of somebody. Everybody got somebody? Okay. I'm going to chant for them. May he be free of suffering. May he feel safe and still. May he be free of enmity. May he be loving, grateful, and kind, and honest. May he be healthy and at ease in all his ills. May he be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay. Now, finally, we're going to chant for all citizens of your country, all citizens of the world. Okay? Not just the voters, all citizens. May we be free of suffering. May we feel safe and still. May we be free of enmity and get through some more years without blowing ourselves up. May we be loving, grateful, and kind. May we be healthy and at ease in all our ills. May we be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay. Next time you're watching the news or, come across some of those stories, try my Cure for Politics Metta practice there. Yeah? For those folks. See if it helps. There are worse things you can do in this world. Okay? We're going to sit now for a few short minutes. Remember, Zazen is not a matter of long or short. This few minutes is also infinite time. You can sit where you wish. Make yourself comfortable. And all right, I'll just ring the bell. We will now recite the verse of atonement and the 4 vows.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, perceive reality, though reality is boundless, attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, perceive reality, though reality is boundless, attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, perceive reality, though reality is boundless, attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
Well, lovely everybody. I hope you all have a lovely time, a lovely day. I'm off to the mini golf with my daughter and her friends. You know, I'm going to change clothes. It gets in the way of golf. So see you all around. Chris, see you around town. And peace to everybody. Love you guys.